It's Amy Ebbs here, and I'm demonstrating how to add a removable nose wire to the basic three-pleat mask. The three-pleated mask, also known as the Deaconess mask, is the most universal fit mask. This is why Sewing for Lives and many other mask sewing groups use it as their base pattern. Some facilities may request a nose wire or opening for a filter. So in this demonstration, I will show you how to add those options to the three-pleated mask cover. So both of these masks have a removable wire option. Why do we need a removable wire? It's best if the wire is removable so that the mask can hold up better to multiple washings, basic wear and tear. You don't want anything to get caught in the laundry. You don't want things to gum up if it can't hold up to the extreme heat, or rusting if you didn't, depending on the type of wire used. So the mask I'm going to demonstrate in this video is going to be this mask. It has this wire insert on the front of the pocket. I'll demonstrate this other mask in another video. Alright, you'll notice that the mask that I showed had adjustable ear loops, but you can use any kind of tie or ear loop for this mask. We have t-shirt ties, fabric ties, adjustable ear loops, regular ear loops. Okay, the first thing that we need to do is have a clean finish top edge, and we need that because there's going to be an opening and you don't want to have raw edges that can fray. These are different examples. You can do a zigzag, and this is a fold over with a zigzag. Then this is a double fold over. It's folded twice and then just stitched. This is a serged edge, and this is a selvage. So all of those are great examples of having a clean finish. Alright, so I'm just doing a clean finish on this top edge. I'm just folding it over about 1/4 of an inch and doing a wide zigzag just to get that clean finished. For this pattern, you're going to need an 8 by 9 inch rectangle for the front piece of fabric and a 7 by 9 inch rectangle for the back piece of fabric. And in this one I have a selvage, so that is my clean finish there, and then I did my zigzag here. Okay, so here's my 8 inch front piece, and what you're going to do is fold over an inch. We're going to make a little tuck here, and this is for the wire to fit in. And right here from the middle of my foot to the edge is 1 inch, so I just measure by looking at my machine. You're like, okay, that's an inch. And then you're going to stitch 1/2 of an inch in from this folded edge. You'll back stitch when you start and stop. Oh, and make sure it's a straight stitch. And we'll go ahead and stitch that 1/2 of an inch from our fold. Alright, so we have our 1/2 inch little tuck that we've sewn. We need to press that down. So I'm going to take this and press. And then we have our little pleat pressed down. See how it opens? And now we're going to top stitch along here. Alright, you don't want to top stitch along the entire edge. We want to leave an opening here and here, so on both ends. So I just set an index card in here to kind of guide me, so I don't have to measure exactly. And I'm going to start top stitching on the edge of this tuck we just made. And a top stitch is about 1/8 of an inch. I'm going to stitch along and then back stitch when you start and stop, and now we have sewn down our cute little tuck. Okay, so we have this ready to go. We've top stitched this, and now we have our little pocket all ready for our wire. Now we're just going to basically make a mask the way you would make any three-pleated basic mask. We're going to put right sides together, and we're going to do a 3/8 of an inch seam on the top. You could do 1/4 of an inch. I like 3/8. It just gives it a little bit more seam allowance there where we're going to be getting in and out of our filter. Okay, so we're going to stitch, but we need to leave an opening for the filter in this seam. So I have another little trick using the same index card. I just stick it between there, or you can stick it right on top, just to remind yourself to stop. I hate when I'm sewing along and I forgot to leave that opening. So as I get close to the index card, I back stitch, then I just jump over, and then continue, back stitch when you stop and start, and sew right off. Any more light? Alright, so now we've stitched, left our little opening here, and stitched, and now we're going to go ahead and sew along the bottom. 1/4 inch to a 3/8 inch of a seam. Stitch right along there. And clip my threads. Okay, now we are ready to do our ties. Okay, at this point, if you're doing wraparound ties, and that's what I'm going to do here, then you turn it right side out. If you're going to sew in your ties or loops, then you would sew them in before turning it right side out. So let's get this turned right side out, and I'm going to demonstrate my favorite way of doing the pleats. First, we'll just get this iron flat really quick. This is how I iron it. I like how it just makes it look a little bit sharper. Okay, so it's nice and flat, but we also want to hurry because we're trying to crank out tons of masks constantly for all these frontline workers. You can take it, flip it over, flip that right in half, and I know some of you have already seen this method on my other videos. Fold it up to that middle point, fold it again to that middle point. Then we're going to flip that around. Here's our top, here's our bottom. The pleats must face down so that it doesn't collect dust or lint. And then I slide on hair clips. And there's lots of awesome tricks to do pleats. I've done a video on one, but there we go. We are ready to now add our ties here. And for adjustable ear loops, you find about the center of your tie. And we're going to stick it on the back here. And I even make this just a teeny bit longer. You just need a few inches down here at the bottom, and we're going to stitch that on. And now we're stitching that, this is t-shirt yarn, to the back of this so that it rolls forward. And I'll show you what I mean. So see how it's rolling forward, and we just stitch that at 1/4 of an inch. And now the awesome part about this, how it rolls forward, you just continue that roll and you just stitch that down. And I feel like this is one of the fastest ways to crank out these masks. Stitch that down is this wrap method. I love this wrap method. And then you do it to the other side. Okay, so now we're going to tie this knot for this adjustable ear loop, and you take the bottom and you're going to tie a slip knot around the top. So we loop that around and put that knot through. And I have a whole video on this as well. If you search my videos, you'll be able to find it. And there we go. And now you have this beautiful mask. Okay, for wire, there's lots of options. I've used pipe cleaners mostly because that's what I have. So you can either fold it in half, or if you're trying to get more out of it, you can cut it in half. So what you do is you just stick it right in there, and it slides in super nicely, and then it is totally removable. Then you have this little opening to add a filter if desired, and there is your beautiful mask.